Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 3, where I'm starting the video on the loading screen here, just so that we can all enjoy the ambiance of this. The vibe it projects is very strong, right? It's getting us in the mood. I'm very excited to have these things. These Kadai destroyers, I think they're called. I don't even know if they're good. I don't even know what they do. I just, looking at that, it's gotta be, at the very least, the effect on the enemy morale of that thing showing up on the battlefield, right? It's got to be significant. Okay, so we have a number of concerns. I'm wondering if I want to maybe run the army up north here real quick and just see if this is indeed that Skaven settlement, that Skaven player who declared war on us briefly. Not because I would want to go take it from them necessarily, but just to know. So let's see, that's part of a settlement, okay, that runs all the way up here, right? I remember that from when we played as Greasus. Well, we're probably not going to worry about that for the moment. That front is, I guess, settled enough. I am worried about this. These lizardmen really don't care for us, and they have very little else to do. They have a goblin player nearby, and they don't like the greenskins either. So they could sail west, but I don't know. I just have a bad feeling. Also, I haven't talked about this yet, but if we actually get out here on the water, we can potentially gain an awful lot of money and resources from doing so. So I think maybe the move is we're headed towards Shattered Stone Bay, but we're going to jump in the water first and try to like loot these points of interest that appear. Yeah, a merchant shipwreck. That's got to be good for us. Over here, it looks like the sea is just kind of on fire. So that's fun. It's a nightmare. It is an absolute nightmare over here. All right, what else needs doing? We're saving raw materials. Nothing is more important than the drill. And so I guess we're good for the turn. Did I save the game at the end of a turn? It's not usually how I do these things. All right, let's go ahead and roll forward. We need to go get in some trouble, whatever the situation is, because first of all, our labor situation is dependent on constant captives. But secondly, we have that quest. Okay, somebody else is claiming seats in the Tower of Jar, which is the thing that in theory we care about. It's going to be a little while before we can build up our next one. This island nation is it's one major settlement. You know what? Maybe this is what we need to do. It does seem like pig barter is probably going to fall to the Skaven pretty soon. I don't know that I necessarily need to run over there to play defense. Maybe this would be a good time to just clean this up, get ourselves another tower, so that we can push hard in the Tower of Jar race. And that said, we might want to stop on land one more time just to get another decent turn of replenishment before jumping in the ocean. How much is this to upgrade? 1,500. So we'll have it next turn. We'll have it next turn, even if we could probably afford to spend some, although not 500. Certainly not 1,250. Maybe I can't afford to buy any upgrades. Yeah, 637's too much. All right, well, we wait. We're just barely above our workload, so I certainly don't want to rush any constructions. I think we'll still get replenishment in the ocean as long as we're in, like, neutral waters or waters that can be said to belong to us. Is that true? Yeah, okay. It's less, but it's some. And so I don't think we want to do anything else. We are accumulating enough armaments that we could pursue some upgrades in the forges for sure. So, okay, if we... Armaments per unit times 3 for this upgrade. We can't easily see what the extra powder cost would be. It doesn't list it here, but it's probably similar, right? So we would just be burning, at this point, 3 armaments per turn to give a 30% damage buff to our 1 unit of guns. It's not worth it to spend the armaments just yet. I guess we just hold. Oh, also... active convoy. I should convoy somewhere. Okay. In 3 turns, you'll be available. Do I want to just wait? Because, like, this convoy is actually... Yeah, okay, this convoy remembers the units it had from last time, so this convoy is actually quite competent. I think we just wait. He should be available again in 3 turns, rather than running a second one and having them overlap. I don't know, maybe that's wrong. If I had realized it was going to take a couple of turns after the previous convoy finished, we could have hired on somebody new and had them like halfway done by the time he returned. A mission issued to be at war with Clan Crizor. This is the ones to the north of us, right? Yep, and the mission panel has sort of given away a piece of information we already had, basically. Alright, so on the sea, there is only effectively March mode and normal mode, and you have to be in normal mode to interact with these little specialty nodes that appear. Mist clings to the ground and stubbornly refuses to shift, even as your followers stride forth. They approach a place of ancient power. It is forbidding, but those who dare to tread here may be rewarded, or so the prophecy scrawled onto the map states. Geez, I don't know. Give me the power. We're about to go fight some lizardmen. Lizardmen can be very tough. Let's take a buff to our battle prowess. 25% physical resist for the entire army, for everyone in the whole army. That's pretty good, in my opinion. How long is that? 10 turns? Jeez. Alright, so we're rolling up on this tiny settlement. What you're seeing here is probably as many units as they can afford to run at once, given that they only have the one settlement to gain money from. My guess is that this is going to be a little tricky for us. Lizardmen are tough. They have access to a lot of really good units. They also have access to some like objective garbage. I guess we'll see what's in those stacks when we get over there. But for right now, the number one, absolute most important thing, let's get that high-powered drill assembly line running. I may as well... Yeah, let's go ahead and pursue the Overseer's Tower here as well. May as well buff this stuff up. And hopefully nobody gets the bright idea of attacking me while I'm gone. Because that would be annoying. We will absolutely just make this a tower, right? It feels like having enough towers. It feels like we're going to bottleneck on towers before we bottleneck on other stuff. All right, our hollow rounds are complete. And that leads up to varied training. Okay, discount on the armament cost of increasing our ranks, and then just more ranks on recruitment. Up to buffs for the Kadai, which is going to cost a bunch of armaments, but we can certainly have that much, and then further buffs for the Kadai. Ooh, Kadai units rank 7 and above reduce enemy fire resistance when they deal damage. That seems pretty powerful. Bonus damage and ammunition for all your war machines. Yeah, this is the line I want to pursue. This is the fires and explosions line. I mean, I guess industry matters too. But like fires and explosions, right? Yeah. Hey, you tell him, Drazoth. I don't think we need to be in March mode at this moment. So, okay, we can make landfall on this beach next to the settlement. Can I land over here? I can. I'm wondering if it might be a good idea for us to make landfall in a place where we have a little bit of room to maneuver and we don't necessarily have to fight all of their troops at the same time. And it's not very different in terms of like turns to approach.
Indeed.
What's your deal? Do you hate me? You're not fond of me. I was just thinking, if like we could set up a trade thing, that would be pretty cool. You seem to be eager to run trade units through my territory. But no, we are not. We are not well liked over in Cathay. I'm just looking at the attitude modifier on everybody on the map here. It kind of seems like we're not well liked absolutely everywhere. Who would have thought, given our character? All right, so the next level of drill upgrade is tier 4 of this settlement, right? We're looking at an awful lot of raw materials. This is an extra 100 gold per turn. I mean, we have to do this stuff, right? If I'm serious about getting to a second army at some point, we have to pursue income upgrades. And it would be really nice to have a second army so that when one of my armies is going all like expeditionary, we still have somebody gathering labor, because we're bottoming out on labor pretty quickly here. Turns out we don't really have a great view towards sustainability over here in Chaos Dwarf Town. Clan Krizor was annihilated. Was it the ogres who did it? It was. This worries me because Clan Krizor was not a threat to us. This ogre nation absolutely is. Yeah, we gotta get this. We gotta get this over with. You discovered a Cathayan trading caravan on your lands. Will you let it trade unopposed? Perhaps the riches it holds could be yours to plunder. Man, I don't know. Okay. Cathayan nations are confederating. Let's hire on our dude. So 700 labor incoming. That's certainly interesting. Yeah, maybe we do need to, right now, think about caravanning for a large amount of labor. Yo, that's pretty rad. We could trade a bunch of armaments for a bunch of, because we're going to be accumulating armaments for a while here. Can we get a better deal anywhere else? No, you want to go as far as possible, right? Oh, this is gold for labor though. We could afford to go pretty big on this. Do we have gold for labor anywhere else? That's closer. We're going to get a worse deal there, right? 500 for 275. Yeah. Okay. Feeling pretty confident then that the Crystal Spires is the spot. And we just turn this number up as high as it will go. Yeah, I think I like this better than trading off the armaments, even though the armaments will get us a lot more labor in total. All right, 7 turns. Easy enough. Yep, mission aborted because that scheming clan no longer exists. We did get to 400 armaments, though. We sure are manufacturing some death up in here. Next turn, we get our drill. For the moment, I think we just don't do anything. Next turn, we'll declare war and start harassing. Let's see what we can do here. This is about all the troops we can muster for the moment, afford to muster for the moment. So hopefully this is sufficient to take these lizardmen out. Did we get a better view here? Oh, we did. Okay, so their army is very heavily skink-based. Basically, lizardmen units come in 3 weight classes, I guess I would say. You have your, like, halfway between a man and an ogre-sized units in the Saurus class. You have absolute massive dinosaur monster units. And then you have the skinks, who are like... I mean, they're better than goblins. They're certainly better than goblins, but they're not like a lot better than goblins. And this is kind of a large number of them. These ones are tricky, and they have poisonous projectiles, but I'm confident we could do some harm here. Except I can't actually cross the jungle in 1 turn. What does the raiding mode do in this area? So if we hang out and raid, we gain labor based on the strength of this army. We generate a little bit of gold income. Obviously, the enemy will be none too pleased with us. Yeah, I'm just gonna raid. We're just gonna generate 100 labor per turn. I'm actually quite surprised by that as we approach Dragon Fang Mount. And then we'll see. We'll see about improving that from there later. My plan was to build lava fields here eventually, and I forgot that was the play, but I do think that that's what we want to do. Right, the building that builds more Kadai, we'll get there. We'll have time. That building's not even kind of useful until we get to tier 3. I mean, it would let me hire demon smith sorcerers, I guess, but we already have a wizard for our current army. Yeah, let's go lava fields here. And then now I don't have an immediately obvious, like, what is my move for the raw materials that we are carrying right now? I guess increased efficiency of raw materials to armaments probably makes sense. Especially if I'm concerned we're going to have labor problems. Efficiency matters. Okay. Raiding and capturing, like, lizardmen civilians is definitely going to be very helpful. Having an army run around just as, like, a raiding stack, honestly, is probably a thing worth thinking. Oh, what are you doing? That's really interesting. So they've left the Dragonfang Mount remarkably undefended, sailing out their real army. I think this is a moment where we just completely terminate the thing we were doing, and we roll over there and we crush. All right, we've encountered rats in a tunnel. The route is endless. Our beleaguered convoy has been traveling for what seems like forever, with no end in sight. Surely a detour through subterranean tunnels would get our goods to their destination sooner. So there's this whole network of underground tunnels running through a pretty significant percentage of the world called the Underway. Not all races know how to access the Underway, but obviously all of the Dwarf factions do, and the Skaven factions do as well, and we have encountered here some pernicious Skaven. The good news is this Skaven army is like hot garbage, and we definitely will annihilate them. Kill some rats and reduce the length of our journey? Sounds like a win-win. They're going to make us... Okay, they don't make us do it manually, but for some reason they're hiding the enemy army here. Oh, because this is an ambush battle. You know what? Let's go ahead and fight it manually. The ambush state gives a pretty significant bonus to auto-resolve results, in my experience, and frankly, I just don't think we should have that much of a problem here, even with the ambush. I think we will get totally screwed by the auto-resolver, though. So we'll just put our own hand in. This is what happens when an ambush occurs. I'm a little worried about the state of our Hell Cannon. If we can't get the Hell Cannon away from enemy rat units, that could be troublesome. But other than that, I think any of these units can hold their own in melee against anything the Skaven have. And once we've rescued the Hell Cannon will be able to take out most of this army by itself. Oh my gosh. For some reason, the camera sensitivity level in that little thing was so low. Those were big full arm motions I was doing to turn the camera that tiny amount. So yeah, they've decided to have at us from a surround, approaching from the back, so as to limit the use of our war machines. I think this is pretty solid from their point of view. However, what they don't know is that their units are garbage. So we're going to activate the speed boost on this Hell Cannon and try to get it forward as best we can. And then we're going to turn our army around. Okay, our Overseer here is not a wizard. We have no casting ability. And mostly what they have is pretty garbage little melee units. You can see these Skaven slaves, 12 attack, 18 defense, no armor, very poor health. Really, really easy to kill. The clan rats are slightly better outfitted. They have a little bit of actual armor on and real swords, so that's something. What we have to be wary of is this kind of stuff. Skaven have some definite, like, mad science machinery here. These Ratling guns are going to do some very serious harm to us. However, this is the only unit of Ratling guns they have. They do have some Night Runners here who have, like, slings. So they're able to, throw rocks and knives and stuff at us. But that aside, we shouldn't have too much trouble here. So Infernal Guard, charge this way. Chaos Dwarf Warriors, charge this way. Iron Fists also charge this way. And I mean, we're just going to go straight at them. I think I'm going to have the Shaggoth here, in case you're not familiar with a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. Probably head the other direction. I don't want to overstack. Well, maybe that is the right move, though. Yeah, maybe actually clearing out one side of this battlefield as quickly as possible to give us a direction to fall back into. Makes the most sense. All right, counterfire immediately. We have our own little anti-infantry missile troops. This is going to be a little tricky. All right. The rattling guns are going to be very scary. You don't seem to be able to get steady, though. Yeah, they didn't really get positioned quickly enough. All right, hold on a second. Let me make sure that we're applying our bodies here in a way that makes sense. So you can see these Night Runners, they don't have the greatest actual combat stats, 24, 22. They are going to find some difficulty in standing against us. I think we're going to just get like this far and turn. So they have a Grey Seer who has just spells. He's just a wizard with an exposed flank. Yeah, maybe I can... Let me try to pull our Overseer out here, actually. What I'm thinking is I might be able to just go wizard hunting with our Lord. Alright, just run through the field of fire. Don't stress about it. Alright. So this will be a good time to talk about morale, leadership, and the different states of leadership. So you can see here, we've got a lot of Skaven fleeing already. Skaven have pretty poor leadership in general. They tend to break and run pretty easily. However, it's important to note the difference between routing the white flag and actually defeated, the skull with the flag with the blood on it. These units are not coming back. They will simply flee the battlefield. They are shattered. These units, they'll run for a little while and then they'll recover and then they'll turn around and come back to the battle. And Skaven units love to do this. It is a whole strategy for them where their morale breaks very easily and then they get a little speed boost when their morale breaks and they turn and run away and then they reposition and come back at you from another angle. I think I've changed my mind. This side of the battle's over with already. Aim this way. We're gonna try to reposition our gunners here to take optimal advantage of this. I think the Ogre and the Shaggoths can finish this side of the battle by themselves, frankly. Yeah. And our Lord has gotten his hands on their wizard, so... Come on, turn. Start shooting into that group. So a hell cannon may look like a cannon. It is in fact a demon of some kind, and it's shooting the flaming souls of the damned at our enemies. Tends to get the job done. I'm going to pull the Shaggoth over here. Our Lord got separated from their wizard pretty quickly here. This is one problem with fighting Skaven. There's just so many of them at any given time. Alright, that went about how I figured it was going to. Really, just not a very impressive enemy force. And it might have given us the victory on the auto-resolve, but it might also have given us a much more pained victory. We might have lost, the Hell Cannon or something. And honestly, sometimes an auto-resolve will take an ambush that shouldn't work and just award it the win. Best we handle that personally. This should be good XP for most of the units in this army. 113 kills on the Infernus Guard, 127 kills on the Hell Cannon, even though it only fired like twice. The ogres did some wonderful work. You know, ogres are not bad units. You just have to know how to apply them. The AI does not always do the best job. I mean, hell yeah, send back an extra 154 labor for sure. That's actually really helpful. All right, varied training up, and we are not quite able to push through the boiling blood sacrifices just yet. So where do we go next? We could improve our hobgoblin and wolf units. Experience gain plus 50% for these lower tier units. You're much more likely to get them leveled up before they get themselves killed. There's something to be said for that, I think. Improved ambush chances. I mean, this stuff's all fine. Perhaps we should pursue some economic stuff while we're waiting for the armaments to reaccumulate. Yeah, I mean, buffs for the convoys. It's definitely meaningful. Okay, we'll grab merchant guilds real quick. This costs us almost nothing. All right. Oh, we can't quite get there in one turn. That's a little frustrating. All right. We're going to stay in raid mode then. We're going to continue raiding, and I'm going... Actually, I wonder. I don't know what they're doing. What I want to do is avoid doing anything that would cause them to sail back home. So I kind of want to go into ambush mode and like creep forward in the jungle here and make them think that it is safe to continue away. Because if they continue sailing away for one more turn, we're just gonna claim this for sure. Our caravan master for sure gets a level up. Let's take even more value from your cargo. You're doing great work there, Skulf. So I didn't actually press this. What are we doing here? Your fusion of dwarven engineering and demonic sorcery as an abomination of the worst kind has led the dwarves to the west to send a throng against you. How fitting that the Dwari Thagi march themselves to their own sacrifice to the Father, in turn bringing you one step closer to the revelation and desecration of the relics they hold so dear. So there is a quest battle on the map here. If we win this, we will get the locations for the ancestor relics and also a buff related to that, and 300 extra labor. Of course, you know, we need to have an army to win the battle. We'll get there. It's going to happen. We are busy for the moment. So we actually have a decent amount of bonus labor. Let's go ahead and spend money to make money. And then I probably want to build the Flayed Tower, right? Control everywhere is definitely meaningful, and I think it is worth noting that we are at very bad control and still falling here. So we're losing extra labor every turn, and also we're not getting the benefits of high control, and also we are definitely a little bit flirting with the danger of a rebellion, which we would not want to happen while we have our army away like this. This coming turn we'll be able to claim another seat in the tower. All right, please, lizards, just keep sailing. Just keep sailing. Oh, beautiful. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. We'll go ahead and take the auto-resolve loss here. There's no way we're defending against this. Wow, the auto-resolve dealt a lot more damage to their units than I think we would have manually. That's bananas. So apparently the Skaven decided not to finish them off. That's fine. We'll come back and get them later. I do want to make sure we get this done first. Oh yeah, hold on. So whenever you're thinking about declaring war on somebody, check in, see if anybody else is at war with them, And go ask that person if they are interested in your help.
Warpstone. Good. May make deal pact.
Yeah, maybe we could even be friendly here. So here's the deal. I would be willing to join your war against Tepok's spawn. What would you give me in exchange for that? 6.9. They really like that. They don't like it enough to set up a trade agreement, sadly. But maybe a little bit of money on the... Yeah, I'll take that.
Good, good.
And we have other common enemies as well. It looks like they're no longer at war with that goblin faction, though. They must have sued for peace. Okay. Now that we are properly at war with these dudes, the Haunted Forest is about to have a rebellion. Not a thing I can actually worry about right this moment. Alright, so when you hover over the auto-resolve button here, any units that are going to die in the battle are highlighted in red. It's not actually going to kill any of our units to take the auto-resolve. I think I'm going to go ahead and just do it here. Let's throw our banner of swiftness onto, I don't know, one of the units that wants to be able to... You guys. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll take the auto-resolve here. We will occupy this settlement as a tower at this level. This will slow down our next seat a little bit, but it's fine. Earning some income here. Okay, we have a medicinal plant workshop. That seems fine. I'm into that. And then there's no landmark here or anything. Nope, just medicinal plants and the ability to build a tower. Well, what do I want to put up here? I guess just one of these. Dreshoth will heal, and then we have a lot of things to deal with all of a sudden. So the thing I'm really pursuing as quickly as possible with Dreshoth is Arcane Conduit. Once we have Arcane Conduit, we have a constant recharge of Winds of Magic, which will end up leading to us being able to cast a lot more spells over the course of the average battle. So I always pursue that pretty heavily. I don't know that we need another big damage spell. We do need 4 points in this box to get Conduit, so let's pursue some extra capacity on our Winds of Magic, and then Earthing here. We haven't really talked about it yet, but every time you overcast a spell, there's a chance for it to miscast. Miscasting is a little bit poorly named. The spell still happens just fine when you miscast, but also the caster handles the magic wrong and does some damage to themselves. You take some magic overflow damage, basically. Let's get those sundering attacks. That seems significant. Wait, never mind. Sorry. Let's get the last point of increased mobility. That seems significant. We have some very serious sailing to do next turn, so... I don't think there's anything I can do to improve the control situation over there right this second. Now, it's worth noting, this army no longer has a region. They no longer own anything, and so they're going to starve out, and probably relatively quickly. My hope is that they will just find themselves unable to find a foothold anywhere, and they'll die out. We probably should institute a commandment here. And you know what? We're not going to hang out here very much. Let's just do plus control. Maybe it would be cool if this place didn't run out on us. I think we're maybe in for a rough couple of turns here. Yeah, Tepok's spawn are going to sail for us. The thing they would have done moments ago is go to Shattered Stone Bay. Now that Shattered Stone Bay is no longer available to them, they'll head further north in an attempt to steal a settlement from us. And we've encountered more hobgoblins. So how badly damaged are my units? You can see we're definitely not really healed yet. But I think I'd rather gain more goblins because we'll still be healing every turn as we continue to travel. Yeah, let's take the numbers. It's true. He really does know how to help with the construction. Let's get sailing. Let's get sailing fast. So you can see here, a rebel army of the undead has spawned. They will build up over time, and they will attempt to retake the haunted forest if we don't stop them. And then obviously we have other reasons that we need to get back to the shore very fucking quickly. So let's, I mean, our plan is... Sorry, it's not going to let me see my landing zones until I'm actually in the water. Yeah, my plan is probably something like this. Now, we really need to be healing. Unfortunately, there are apparently storms in this ocean region. The good news is that's affecting the lizardmen. The bad news is it's zeroing out our healing over time. I think let's push toward Overseer Organization for the moment. We need 500 armaments for the other technology we want, so that's going to be a second yet. We should, in theory, pursue this upgrade. I mean, yeah. We're doing okay on labor for the moment, and we're going to get a big shipment soon. So I think that's reasonable. If we can get there before that army grows very much, even with our army in really bad shape, it shouldn't be too hard to take them down. Skulf is all the way up in chaos territory here. Yep, and he's headed towards Scrap Tower. Scrap Tower is definitely where I would be attacking, were I them. If we lose the Haunted Fortress to random undead rebels, we can just reclaim it again. I don't think that's a major concern. My more pressing concern is let's make sure this faction is actually removed from the game. Okay, back on friendly territory. Get our replenishment back. Oh, hey, Dressoth. We hit the level that grants us our mount without me even noticing. A mighty Bale Taurus. So it's it's some kind of great big demon bull. All right, we'll have more of a look at that later. Do we have time to build? It only costs 1 turn to get some defenses built up here. I mean, I would rather use the slot for a money pit, to be sure. And it's far enough into the Empire that it probably... I don't want to build defenses here. I want to build resource buildings. Ooh, we do have the raw materials banked to push for another level on this tower. So that would be an extra point of conclave influence every turn, a little bit of extra money. Yeah, I think we have to. How expensive is the money-making building? Oh, you build it with money. It's going to take me a while to get used to this half of things cost money, half of things cost rock situation that we have going on. Alright, and there's no reason for this region to accept labor because it can't use labor. Same deal here. Okay. We're going to expand westward and get more complicated labor stuff going on, I swear. We just have a little bit of a mess to clean up here first. So way over here, lots of wacky demons are doing lots of wacky things. We've arrived at the Crystal Palace. Yep, they're not going to make it to Scrap Towers this turn, I don't think. And that means we can jump them right outside of it. Yep, another Tower of Jar seat for one of the other dwarf factions. So we're not quite at full, but you can see the attrition has had pretty serious effects on them. Are they close enough that if we were to attack them, yep, you can see the line indicates we would get reinforcements from scrap towers. I'm not sure that we need them, but it's cool to know that we would get them. My guess is he's going to run. Nope, he would just take it. So partway through the battle, the settlement garrison here will show up. I think we can just take our decisive victory. This is an easy one. That's a pretty cool mount, though. It doesn't quite look like that on the map. Absolutely take the extra labor. Yeah, for sure. Alright, lots of other factions were destroyed this turn as well. And we probably need to get aggressive on this army. You can see they're building up out of much better undead units than the ones that we fought last time, including like cairn wraiths and stuff. Yeah, we need to put some pressure on them. Can I... If we encamp, we won't be able to move very far. I want to make sure that we can actually hit them. Does being in encampment mode get us any extra replenishment? No, it doesn't change anything. Okay, fuck it. We'll just keep moving. We have to be in position to threaten here. Alright, a reduction in the chance of, oops, I burned myself with magic. And for you, finally, molten cores for your bullets. And I have to say, at this point, Luktaz is already, I think, a pretty impressive military unit. It's only going to get better with time. I'm a little reluctant to spend resources in the Haunted Forest until we know for sure that we've got that situation under control. We do have a little bit of spare labor, but I still don't think I want to go rushing. Yeah, let's play it carefully here. So upgrading that building, this is a different building, and so it requires different materials. I mean, whatever, it's fine. We should definitely put up a proper garrison structure here once we've like improved its size one more time, just so that we don't, so that it is less likely we will have to run an army down there on a moment's notice. Also, unassigned skill points on our convoy. You can hear him yelling happily in the distance. And with 3,000 income, we definitely could at least think about running another army. Like, obviously, this army is pretty poor, so we could run a second kind of crummy army. Or we could focus more on improving this army. There's a lot to be said for, like, a couple of crummy armies. Just being able to project force in more places at once is a big deal. Maybe it's a thing I should pursue. Oh, interesting. They've chosen to siege the Haunted Forest instead of attacking it outright. That's not going to work. We're just going to crush them up against the walls. And, you know, they're undead, not necessarily known for their tactical acumen or general intelligence. And we've reached the level to get a quest for another legendary item here. The will of Hashut is at times clear, other times inscrutable. He sees into the souls of mortals and can distinguish the malign from the innocent, though in his eyes all are destined for hellbound torment. And now the demon-spite crucible, Drazoth's favored talisman, must be reforged and quenched with more innocent souls to renew its power. Yet Hashut does not reveal his judgment of those he cuts down. Enemies must be killed in scores to eventually satisfy the Father of Darkness. You know, in case you didn't get what the deal was yet. So, okay, spellcasting range up. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't 100% know what Spell Mastery does, but more of it's got to be good. Is there no, I can't do the tooltip within the tooltip thing here. Well, whatever. It doesn't affect our decision-making. This turn, very obviously, the only thing to do is free the Haunted Forest from the rebellion. A completely trivial battle. Yep, take the labor. Just press these raised undead into service. We found ourselves a pigeon plucker pendant, which slows down and weakens flying units near the unit that's carrying it. We probably need some kind of long-term solution for the control problem over here. It might be worth it to upgrade this building next. Get another slot and then build some kind of religious structure.
Stroll.
All right, and then back to friendly territory because we have other problems to resolve. I think let's start putting together another army here. So we have two different kinds of lords: sorcerer prophets like Drazoth, or melee-focused overseers who start with 55 attack, 55 defense, 120 armor, the 55% shields. I mean, that's pretty tough. That is a pretty tough unit. So what kind of traits do we have here? Just bonus attack and defense on this guy. Extra charge and weapon strength. And then sorcerer prophets, we have access to 4 different lores of magic. And among them, even more recruits. I mean, there's a lot going on here. We don't have access to normal wizards yet, so I might want to do another sorcerer prophet just so that each army for sure has access to magic. Minus 10% cooldown to all spells and bonus leadership for the whole army when fighting any of the forces of order. That's definitely interesting. You get bonus wins of magic and more... Okay. That's fine, I think. What if we wanted to go for something more like... I think Metal's got some pretty cool spells. Death has some really good stuff. You lower the recruitment cost for your units. You just never, ever get tired. Never get tired is a lot less compelling on a wizard. Although, you know, as a wizard, this is still a pretty good actual melee combat unit. Okay, you have a ranged attack. You just have a gun, I'm assuming. Yeah, that's interesting. I guess... there is some chance that in a long battle, this would end up mattering. Miserly feels like such a tiny bonus. Let's take Nabonahid Baruch here. We unlocked a Regiment of Renown. The way Regiments of Renown work, they are unlocked by someone in your army hitting the appropriate level. So once any one of our lords is 17, we'll unlock the Granite Guard. When somebody's 20, we'll unlock these Immortals. And what they are is they're based on existing unit designs for your army, but they have some kind of special bonus. Like the Blazing Beards of Bazharak. Their beards are fire? Oh, they carry bombs. They have a special ranged weapon. Okay, I mean, that's pretty cool. We're going to want to fill this army with normal units first. So we can afford more blunderbusses. This is the point where we would want to start considering pushing up our... what do you call it? Our unit caps. But at the same point, we're really close to that research. How much do I care about that research? It's like, it's decent and it's bottlenecking bonuses that we don't really get that much play from these just yet because we don't have a lot of war machines. So maybe we can hold off on that. And if we're going to do that, we could just, give me the ability to build more blunderbusses. Maybe even one more. Then we'll have this army start with the recruitment of 3 units of Chaos Dwarf blunderbusses. Now we do have access to war machines and stuff. How are the unit caps here? Okay, the Hell Cannon is one type of unit cap. All the other war machines are folded under the same cap. So it's not 2 of each. It's 2 of any mixture of them. So this is a magma cannon. Okay. Just shoots big balls of magma, I guess. Interestingly, it has really bad melee stats, as you would expect from a what is effectively a siege weapon, but it has an 18-point bonus versus infantry in melee, which is weird. 450 range, shoots balls of magma. The Iron Demon here is... what exactly are you? So it has collision damage. It has that same significant bonus versus infantry. Oh, it's like a field gun. It has the ability to suppress enemy units while they're moving. It's got a much, much shorter range. And then the Skullcracker, armored, armor-piercing, collision attacks. This actually is just a melee weapon. How curious. So it's got that same bonus versus infantry, but with a 37 base melee attack, it would actually be like pretty good at killing melee units. It's almost like more of a chariot. That's very weird. I think I would like... It's either going to be 2 Iron Demons or an Iron Demon and a Magma Cannon. I kind of do like the idea of picking up 1 of each just so that we can play with them. Even if that's maybe not, the most long-term effective way to do that. And then, I don't know, we're going to need just other units to fill out the roster. Yeah, but I'm not going to recruit any other units just yet. We could throw some garbage in this last slot, but I'm going to save it for things that are a little bit more impressive. So we have the manufactory bonus now of... Okay, this is arranged a little differently than I thought it was going to be, but yeah, we could pursue big bonus damage for our missile infantry, and I think it would actually be, useful now. Upkeep would be... Yeah, well, hold on. Wait until we have all these other units recruited before you tell me what the upkeep would be. And we'll just grab some more Overseer stuff. Drazoth leveled up during fighting and stuff over there. Alright, at this point, we're finally back to yellow skills. Immune to psychology for infernal units. So what immune to psychology does is it makes your units not suffer from fear or terror effects. Or I think certain kinds of magical spells. It just says fear and terror here. That's definitely meaningful some of the time. I don't think it's a thing I'm in a huge hurry to pick up. I might prefer to just, get more hero killing power. Alright, and then we're holding off for the upgrade in the Dark Forest next, or the Haunted Forest. So yeah, I think we've wrapped things up here. We've wrapped up most of our immediately pressing concerns. We still have to worry about ogres to the north deciding that they're going to be able to feast on us, the reclamation of the bay, and then the subsequent elimination of that goblin faction, and so on. But for the moment, we can only do one thing at a time. So this is why we are recruiting a second army. Your actions have not gone unnoticed by your Dark Master, for he offers his twisted blessing. Empowered by mighty Hashut, your position among the Dawijar has never been stronger. Demand whatever you want from the Conclave of Evil. None will dare question you. Really? We call our own leadership the Conclave of Evil? Okay, no, it's fine. Choose profits. Actually, right now, I want money for recruiting. The Flesh Greeters have been obliterated. This is an ogre faction of some kind. You can tell what race group a faction comes from by the shape of the symbol. This thing with the tusks is ogres. I'm hoping that you will just be cool for a little while Let's just run Drazoth like right down here. We're just going to retake Shatterstone Bay. I don't know that I want to be in March mode, though. I think I only want to go this far anyway. I want to stay on my side of the line so that we can continue to get healed. We should be able to hit Shattered Stone Bay next turn either way. Okay, so let's recruit some beasts and stuff. 50 armor, only 62 speed, which is a little low for a cavalry type unit. But it hits pretty hard. It has a 40-point charge bonus. So this is definitely like a rear charge type of unit. The Flying Great Taurus. What is this trait? Oh, okay, that's a blazing. It's uncomfortable to touch it. It is too hot to touch. It hits really hard. Has fantastic melee attack, incredible charge bonus, very poor melee defense. If this thing were to get like surrounded, you would be very sad. You'd be paying for it for a long time. Let's grab one of these first. We are going to get a Great Taurus for this army as well, though. And then we need to fill in a little bit of meat here. Let's just get some basic like Hobgoblin Cutthroats. Somebody's got to stand in position and hold the enemies down while the guns set up, right? So that's all of our recruitment going there. Here we're going to pursue this so that we can build one more structure and see our control. Putting up with dealing with a rebellion tends to increase control for a while. You know, first of all, a lot of the like beings in the area that were causing the negative control, they go off and they join the rebellions. They stop being your problem. And then when you kill them all, everybody else falls in line for a bit. But it's going to be a problem again. So we need to make sure we get it under control before it is. We're going to have similar issues here. So I think this is the next place that we throw a big... yeah, you can see we're at -4 already. This will be the next place that we throw a big group of raw materials. And I'm hoping to get these backfield areas to stabilize without our constant attention. But it might be the case that we just have to like keep an army in this this back ocean area for a long time to make sure things kind of hold down. I guess we shall see. So I do not fear these goblins. We're just going to ride right in and take this back. This was the factory, and a factory it shall remain. Reclaimed our thing here, and now we can get our recruitment bonus back. So we have access to things in the global recruitment pool that we have recruitment buildings for in other places. Up local, we don't really have the best stuff. Do I want to recruit any of these like crummy cavalry units? Honestly, I really don't think so. Do we want to grab more goblins? More hobgoblins? Yeah, you know what? Let's grab one more set of hobgoblins. I'm going to throw this in the queue as well, since we know we are getting it. That army will be, you know, they'll be functional eventually. It does take a while. So we know what we're saving up our raw materials for right now. Do they still have... Yeah, they do still have pig barter. Is pig barter their only settlement? It is. Okay, well, we're definitely taking it away from them. As to whether we want to hold on to it ourselves or just burn it down, it would be tough to hold the province as a whole. And if you're just taking individual settlements out in the middle of nowhere, you will often have long-term control issues with those. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. We should definitely go back to the tower. I totally forgot to pay attention to our conclave influence. We should definitely go back to the tower and claim some seats. Bonus movement range after moving, or after winning a battle is definitely something. Just like flat raw materials bonus is definitely good. Is that the best of the ones that remain? We We won't be able to move up until 2 of these tiers are actually full. This could be good, but a lot of magic items are kind of garbage. And I worry that over time you're just going to accumulate a stock of garbage, like trash you don't want. I think I do want just like the extra raw materials. We'll make it work. Okay. Still some time left before that really goes anywhere. Yeah, I mean we're constantly butting against our cap here anyway, right? What kind of name is Swarbits de Crusha? I'm sure he thinks that's cool. It's the kind of thing a goblin would think is cool. All right. Control up in the local province earned by spending multiple turns in a settlement with low control. We are certainly earning that. This is going to be 2,000 to upgrade. Yes, so we'll get there. How long until we have another slot open here? 5 turns. It's at minus 56. So it'll be about minus 70 by the time we can do anything to it. That should be enough time for us to be able to save it. You know what else I'm going to do? I'm going to swap you over to the plus control commandment. Saving a little bit on building costs, probably not worth the trouble. Bonus movement range. This just improves the tower patrols building. It's a lot of raw materials. It locks us out of resource extractors, which is kind of whatever. The arms monopoly, which is great, no doubt. All convoys gain an additional unit every time they complete a route. That's pretty cool. Ooh, and another convoy slot. This feels like a big deal. Do we want to push up this way while we wait for the armaments to accumulate? Gosh, maybe. We're not really having to worry about plagues. This is definitely a thing for the chaos factions that started closer to the actual chaos demon area. This stuff would give us bonus relations with the other Chaos Dwarf nations could certainly be useful. It's nice to have some friends. Yeah, I gotta be honest with you. I'm not like the sorcery tech tree is not feeling very useful to me. If we press through mandatory service, what kind of stuff can we pick up? Bonus money from raising and sacking settlements, which I feel like is a thing we almost never want to do. Mass production is cool. As you can see, global recruitment times can be very annoying. Taking 1 turn off of all of those everywhere forever is meaningful. I think it's worth the expenditure of raw materials to pick up industrial security. I don't think this is good, but I think that the techs it leads to are really good. Wartime economy is very whatever. Lowers build time and cost for defensive buildings. Yeah, this stuff is all kind of crummy. But the top level of the right side of the industry tree is very, very good. So that'll slow down some stuff. All right, we have managed to heal our units all the way here, and there's this fell cargo. Let's just sail out and grab this real quick. Who dares? A convoy of trading ships carrying myriad precious goods across a nearby sea trade route have been brought low by the angry sea god Stromfells, much to the chagrin of wealthy merchants and investors back at their home ports. Knowing that such wreckage could be highly profitable, you sail toward the area, but unsurprisingly, others have also caught wind of it. You could continue your approach, but this might end in a confrontation at sea. You know what? I'm feeling ready for a confrontation at sea, and I love great hoards of treasure. It is... Oh, come on. This is hardly a confrontation. This is just a bunch of zombies with guns. Honestly, we're going to get some pretty decent payout, like 200 labor from the fight itself. And then also... okay, here's a bunch of unrelated things. Also, what else did I get? Oh, hey. The Graven Scepter. We got our Graven Scepter. That's something. We also got 8,000 gold. Such vast wealth does not go missing out on the open ocean without pirates catching wind of it, but we totally own them because they are bad at fighting. And so, yeah, that's a heck of a lot of money that we just earned. Let's fall back to the settlement. Nope. Gotta go into full speed mode to make it there. There we go. We'll heal up, and then we'll march on this goblin problem next turn. Got ourselves our arcane conduit, and we have leveled up enough that we have access to a couple of other things here. So I don't think I care that much about unyielding command. What is this yellow line? Research rate up, cheaper construction in the local province, leading into some fancy stuff. Improvements for infernal units. Ooh, income from cities and raw materials up faction-wide. Yeah, it definitely seems like this is what we need to focus on next. Barrier hit points are like the Halo shields, effectively. Just a very quickly regenerating pool of hit points on top of your normal hit points, leading finally into Long Years of Exile, which makes the Flames of Asgore spell way cheaper and more usable, which means we probably need to then go back and actually pick it up. But yeah, we're going to fill in this box because this box has some incredibly cool stuff in it. 15% physical resistance for the Kadai in this army. Yeah, that feels like a big deal to me. So I think we have a little bit of a sense of the way these two armies are going to specialize differently. All right, the global recruitment pool is spoken for the next few turns. What else do we want to bring in here? We have kind of our standing... I don't really want to rely on these guys, but we don't have anything better to rely on as standing infantry. We might want to go for some sneaky gets, just some stuff to like sneak around the backsides of enemies. We could pick up some archers. I know we have the guns already, but I don't think more ranged units is necessarily a bad thing. And we'll pick up a set of archers, and then we'll pick up a set of sneaky gits, or well, we have regiments for now that I probably want to pull in. These things recruit instantly; they don't take any time. So I want to pick these up last, so we're paying for them for the smallest period of time. You know what? Give me 2 of those and 2 of these, and then that'll be just enough slots to pick up the regiments of renown from there. So 3 turns from now, we'll hire in those regiments of renown, and this army will be off to the races. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way this is going overall. So why are we reading as 86% average efficiency? Raw materials output across all owned provinces. But isn't our... Oh, no, sorry, I'm totally looking at the numbers backwards. Yeah, because our labor is below our workload. That's how that works. I will say I'm a little bit bummed out about the way they do the legendary items now. It used to be the quest line for every legendary item in the previous games would end with a quest battle of some sort. And I like seeing more of those handcrafted battles, and it also makes it feel a lot more momentous when you actually get one. Like, we picked up a legendary item there without me noticing. And I just feel like that's not how you want that to feel if they are to be legendary. All right, our new lord is learning the way of the disciplinarian as well, because there sure are control problems in this empire. So next turn we'll pursue this upgrade. Yeah, all right. There's so much to do. Sadly, we cannot get it all done today. This is where we're going to leave it for the moment. Thank you all so much for watching. We managed to sort of like sew up our backfield a little bit here and undo the creeping damage that was done. We are, I think, slightly better off than we were at the beginning of the turn, or at the beginning of the video. When you come back next time, we are going to be so much more effective at pressing forth into the world and taking, I mean, just everything. Taking absolutely everything. So come back for that, and we'll see you then.